Yo, what is up, guys? My name is
What's
Gordon.
up?
Alongside,
Okay, I get
along.
you. You can just cut it.
No, we're gone. I'm
Okay.
here with my friend Dexter. What's up, Dexter?
What's up?
So this is our second podcast, but our fourth video.
Oh,
Um,
so excited.
yeah. So we posted our tanky online, which we had horrible luck with. um,
What a good video.
I know, brilliant. But
Yeah.
anyways, so today we really wanted to kind of go over. We heard your comments, we got your feedback. You know, all of our interns kind of were like, people want the show the podcast shorter, and we were like, we can do that.
Yeah,
So
we
so
listen to people's
yeah,
concerns
we
and
are
we
yes
we act on them
yes we are
because we
we
work 24/7.
we are
We
men
can't
of the
listen
people.
before you. Yeah,
So
definitely.
your guys' wish is our command. So if you're looking at the timer, you'll see it's at 15 minutes exactly. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So, anyways, we wanted to just do a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about in this podcast, which was Dexter.
Yeah. Well, you're very prepared.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about. We're gonna do quick biz chat,
Yeah.
which something that we're pioneering here, and then we're gonna read some of your new comments because I know there's a lot of you guys commenting
yeah.
all the time. It's crazy. I'm refreshing and it just keeps saying like the little infinity symbol for
Oh.
amount of comments. It's crazy. So we'll read some out and then we're gonna do one of my segments,
New
which we haven't
segment.
done yet. Yeah, new segment, brand new segment.
For episode
And,
2.
and yeah, then we're gonna do your segment. We're not gonna
Yes.
give too much away. Mine's revolves around news stories, and yours is scary stories part
Yes.
two.
Yes. Play along, people. Play along. Let us know.
Yeah,
Let us
so
know in the comments down below which one you thought was which.
yeah, play along. Please play along. Don't be
Please.
stupid.
Please. We need
Don't
this.
wait. Don't wait till the end and then be like, oh, I should have played along. Play along as you start.
You can do it
because
with Dexes as well.
yeah, you can absolutely.
Okay.
Anyways, so
Business.
let's get into fast biz.
Fast
Okay.
biz.
So merch site is still up and running. Unfortunately, all the stuff still sold out.
Oh gosh, you guys
Getting
have been
emails left, right, and
crazy.
center.
Yeah.
It's every time I try to purchase some stuff, it's gone.
Oh god, I know.
Yeah, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, MySpace, Tumblr, and Ulf told me that he has launched LinkedIn.
Is that new hip site?
Yeah, I don't think it's new anymore. It's
Oh.
pretty hip. It's pretty hip.
It is pretty hip. You guys
So
go check us
next
out.
time you apply for a job, just link.
Sorry.
You just
Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, what I was gonna say is next time.
We're super
next
professional
time
here.
Next, you really care, dude. Next time one of you guys applies for a job, just make sure to link us in LinkedIn to your boss, and I'm
Yes.
sure that'll get you a job twice as quick as normal people.
Twice.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so yeah, that's the social media stuff. Then the logo. Have some good news for you.
Ooh, logo. Yes, from our European artist. Highly
Yeah, so
sought after.
basically, yeah, I talked to my assistant Jared.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry,
very busy.
just like speaking of assistants, Lauren was kind of my it's not that funny, Dex.
Sorry.
Lauren was my intern, as
It's
most
a
of you
funny
know.
joke.
Yeah, from earlier. He's laughing about the burp. I had to let go of Lauren, guys. I saw some
what
people. There's just too many problems, you know. The whole it was getting to him, you know. He was taking care of like uploading. He was taking care of editing. He was taking care of
He was
everything.
commenting, yeah.
Yeah, he was replying, but you know, he was starting to say he wants to get paid. You know, he wants recognition. You know, certain
Yeah.
things weren't being done on time anymore because he was, you know, he was one of the people who got one of our shirts. So you know, all the Sheilas, they were immediately,
Okay,
and
lucky
he was,
guy.
yeah, he was trying to say, you know, like, oh, if it wasn't for me, CCT wouldn't be a thing, and you know, I had to let him go. But I also
He
am
makes a good point though.
I
But
mean,
yeah, go on.
I mean, it's awesome because you know he's promoting the shirt, but he's too full of himself, so I had to
Yeah,
let him
he's
go.
cocky, too
Yeah.
cocky.
So
I
we're
guess that's why Jared was crying this
yeah
morning because he lost his best friend.
yeah yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
but anyways, just had to say that. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm looking for a new assistant. For in the
yeah.
meantime, we're gonna be getting Dex's assistant to reply to comments and stuff.
Well,
So
he's he's already full to the max. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but um,
hopefully we'll see. But
once
anyways,
yeah,
let
I'll
us
get him on
continue.
that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyways, back to logo
Logo,
talk.
yes, logo.
R.I.P. Lon. Um, we my assistant Jared got in contact with the Swedish artist people, and
Yeah.
she got back to us because we're like, "Oh, what's happening to the logo?" We we had this super cool contract worked out
Yep.
with lots of prize money and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, I got a little recording which was sent from her to her people to my
You are-
people to Jared to me.
Yes.
So
A lot of
it's done
middlemen.
yep. Tons of them like that, but that's how I work, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty busy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought I'd play it to you.
Okay,
I think you'll
awesome.
be very happy with the message. I haven't
I
shown
am.
this to you.
No, I have not heard it yet.
Okay,
So I'm
okay,
excited.
are you ready?
Yes. People, be ready. This is the voice of our artist,
Okay, her name is Deborah Genot.
Deborah Genot.
Deborah Genot.
Deborah Genot.
I apologize to all those Swedish fans out there for the mispronunciation. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yes. Okay.
here it is.
Dexter.
Oh crap.
Hey, is she live right now? Is she here?
Okay. Just a sec. There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Here we go.
We just got hacked by some people.
We just
But
got DDoSed.
Jared got on that.
Ooh, you have a good assistant.
So, about your logo, I'm sorry, but it won't be out for your new podcast because it's been really busy here, really crazy. Like, after you posted your video, I got just tons of new followers on the social media and tons of new orders for my pieces of art. So, yeah, it's been really busy. But no worries, I'm working on it, and I'll probably be done in like 3 or 4 days.
Oh.
And I'm currently working on the shape of the letters, and then I'll give you a couple offers with different colors, and you're gonna choose the one you prefer. So yeah, no worries, I'm working on it.
Oh,
Hi,
would you look up?
Dexter.
Wow, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
What do you say to that?
Who is that American girl? I thought you said she was from
Yeah,
from Sweden.
I assume she's probably got an assistant speaking
Yeah,
on
because
her behalf, but
ooh, that American accent.
very,
You know,
very American, to be honest.
I'm not patronizing, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited. I'm gonna as soon as we get that design, hopefully she can scan it up and then send it to you through email. That way you can send it to me, and then
Yeah.
I can get that out on a shirt, and then maybe post some pictures on Twitter, which we
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
should
definitely.
follow us there because that will be probably one of the first places we reveal it on a shirt. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah, they're very highly sought after. So.
I mean, it's amazing how she said that she got so many more followers.
God, yeah.
We gave her a shout out on our
I
channel,
mean,
which it's natural.
Obvious. By the way, people, Patreon. You can
We apologize if we flooded you and
Yeah.
sub floods, as I like to call them. They're pretty
Oh yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, subflood. Oh god.
Yeah, a little bit insensitive with all the
Yeah,
floods in the south right now.
Big shout out to those
Subfloods,
people.
it's still a thing. Yep.
Hopefully you guys are all okay down there. We know we have lots of listeners down in Florida. We have lots of listeners in
Yeah,
Oregon.
Texas,
That big
and-
fire going on in Oregon,
Definitely.
So
But all I'm gonna say is, be happy that it's not a sub flood.
Yes.
Because those are a lot.
Those would be worse.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, water doesn't carry your clothes off and want to do you. So
Yeah.
it just
So,
drowns you.
we-
Not
we
funny.
should-
Not funny.
We should move on before we get roasted.
Yeah.
for that.
Okay. All right. So moving on now to Dexter's brand new segment.
No, wait. We
What?
got to read some of the new comments.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah. So
I burped and didn't hear that part.
yeah, you don't really care, do you?
Okay.
Anyways, let me scroll through.
Yeah, just grab a handful. Just grab a handful.
Random ones here. Chad Salmon, he
Ooh.
writes, "Lon, where are you? I love you."
Ooh,
So,
ooh,
I don't know how you're gonna respond to that one because I think that's on you.
that's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
No, maybe I'll bring him back. Maybe we'll see.
Ooh. I can
I,
just see Lon sitting in this basement, rubbing his hands together.
yeah, he owes me an apology. If he gives me an apology, definitely get him back. We might get him on Skype to get him to
Yeah,
say sorry to me.
definitely.
Us.
Anyways, next comment. Random scroll.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a random one. Trevor McMurray says
Ooh, Trevor.
it's so much better in 1080p,
Ooh, yes.
and that's for a podcast.
Yeah, I mean the sound can be 1080p, I guess.
Yeah,
You know.
Ignore me, but your sound, Gordon, it's
Yes.
definitely HD.
We're just starting, guys. Like I said, things are gonna get better. Trust us.
Yeah, definitely. Brian Denver says the merch site is still sold out.
I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry. We're working on it. You know,
It's tough. It's
it's
tough.
high demand. Like we're already hundreds behind. Like hundreds, maybe even
Thousands.
thousands. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's-
Brian. But thanks for the listen.
Okay, and then one more comment by a guy called Ralphie, which I think we've already had in the last podcast. But I
Ooh,
think he
Ralphie.
wrote again, and he said that your stories from the first podcast were actually 11 out of 10 for realism. So
Thank you, Ralphie. We appreciate that.
yeah, thanks for the compliments. Shoot us an email. We'll might not get to your comment. There's a lot of them here, so I'm just gonna stop right now.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. You know, if you guys want your names mentioned, Patreon's right there.
Yeah,
You know,
Patreon.
maybe even in the
update on my
beginning.
Patreon, yeah. There's still some sort of glitch where it's showing up as 0 Patreons, but I think we'll take care of that. Fred said he's on it.
Okay, good.
So,
Yeah, get him on that.
yeah.
By the
So
way,
if
they're not
you're-
here. None of our team here today.
Yeah, if you're getting on the Patreon, you're like, oh, it's got a 0, like, ignore it. It's a mistake.
It's a glitch. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Dex personally talked to the CEO of Patreon, and yeah, he apologized and he said,
Well, I didn't talk to him. I told my assistant to talk to him, but yeah.
"Oh, well, I think I must have been talking with you." I guess they sound the same.
Dude,
You guys
he
won't
sounds a lot
believe.
like me.
Sometimes we'll get Dex's assistant on instead of Dex.
Yeah,
If
he
Dex
sounds
can't make
very similar. Like, me and him chill out all day.
Yeah.
So he sounds a lot like
Yeah,
me.
like oh. But anyways,
Yeah.
let's continue.
All right, so I'm happy to announce my first segment, which I wasn't able to do in the first
I'm
one. but
excited. He hasn't told me anything about this. Just that he has a
lot
new
of
segment.
this- Yeah, well, I told you the rough outline, which
Yeah.
is basically I've got my research team to do some research
Yeah.
and find some pretty insane news stories or funny news stories, weird news stories.
Mhm.
And they're all from the last, like within the last month. So they're pretty
Recent.
up to date,
Yeah.
pretty recent. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read out a couple to you. And I'll give you the full, like I'll read the headline and then I'll give you like the overall gist.
Yeah.
And I've got 5 in total, and one
Okay.
of them is gonna be fake, which I've thrown in there. And you're gonna have to pick it out by the end. So play along if if you're listening. Don't be stupid and wait till the end.
Yeah. Don't
Please.
cheat. No cheating. Don't be like, oh, I got it right away, because we know there's hundreds of people like saying that in the last.
And don't be a loser. Just Google it.
Yeah.
Because you'll obviously find it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay.
Yeah,
Dex.
just create. Okay. Can I start? So this story that I'm about to
And
read,
start.
maybe what
Oh, sorry. Go.
what happened?
No, go.
Did you pause?
No, I didn't. I just
Oh,
zoned
okay.
out for a second, and then
thanks.
yeah.
Thanks for the random go. So the first, I'm gonna start reading these stories. One of them is fake. I will say that in advance.
Okay.
And the first story basically comes out of Ghana, which is the center of all news in the world. And you've been to funerals.
Oh yeah, I've been to my
And-
fair
and-
share.
and all the listeners, I should say, funerals. You've probably all been to a funeral.
Yeah.
How would you feel if somebody just randomly ran in and stole the body of the person whose funeral it was and just ran off?
I wouldn't feel very good.
You'd, you'd feel like crap, wouldn't you?
I'd be like, dude, that's my grandpa. Come back.
Yeah, so the headline reads, what's it called?
I wonder which one's fake. I wonder which one.
No. Okay.
No, it happens, guys. It happens sometimes. When I tell my
It's hard to
stories.
read. It's blurry. It's a blurry screen. I did bad in English.
Yeah. He's probably not wearing his
starts
glasses.
off, cemetery attendants hijack dead body at cemetery over unsettled debt. So what basically happened is, this guy died. They put him in a morgue, and when they had the funeral, they took out the body, but they didn't pay for the fee that you have to pay to keep the body in the morgue.
You got to pay that.
And that cost local currency 100 rand.
Ooh,
which is,
wow.
Which
100 grand?
100 rand.
Oh, I thought you said 100 grand. I was like, what?
No, so 100 rand is about 9 Canadian dollars.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's not that much. But basically what happened is the family took him out and they all had the sad funeral and they were like, oh.
As opposed to a happy one.
Ted died. This is a sad moment. And then these two guys just show up and they're like, mate, you didn't pay your $9. We're going to take him. And they took him and they didn't give him back.
Like till this day? Or
yeah, because the family hadn't paid. Well,
I guess
the article doesn't say if the family actually paid for him now, but they were just outraged that somebody would do this.
Yeah,
over
that's
$9.
highly
Because
unprofessional.
The whole family was there and they were all crying. Okay, do you have any questions about that?
9 rand? Or one rand, did you say?
100 rand.
100 rand, okay.
Is $9. Hope my conversion's right.
Sorry. It's
Mr. I don't give a crap.
No, I'm listening, man. It's just
Okay.
I like my pop.
Because I'll let you ask me a few questions.
Okay, so these people stole the body.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't pay.
Yeah. They didn't pay for the morgue funds.
And it doesn't say whether they got it back or not.
No.
That's messed up.
It doesn't. It just stops and says, these people are horrible people.
Dang.
So
nah.
That's the first story.
I think I need to hear the other ones to kind of determine whether because
Okay,
I did
keep that in your mind.
yeah
Keep that in
yeah
your mind.
I got
That
it.
could be real
It's
fake.
locked. It's got locked right up there. Those dang blurry screens.
I did have some trouble reading that one out. Okay, the next story happened recently in Iowa, which is an American state.
Yeah.
If you're uneducated or you're an international listener, we shouldn't assume that all people are North Americans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, our artist isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
She sounds American.
But basically, the gist of the story is this African American guy walks into a bank.
Yeah.
And you may be thinking, is he a bank robber? Is he a bad guy? Or is he just depositing some bills?
I would assume he's depositing some bills.
Okay, good. You're not racist.
Yeah.
Good job. That's the end of the story. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
So he walks into a bank and he goes up to the bank attendant or whatever their names are.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Teller.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I put some money into my bank account?
Yep.
And she goes, oh, yep, just hand me the bills. And he just goes, just one bill, mate. And he puts down the bill, and it's a $1 billion bill.
Oh, wow!
Okay.
God, don't you hate it when that's all you have on? Like you go to the store and you're just like, "Can I get some change?" And they're like, "Yep." And you throw down your $1 million bill, and they just look at you like,
You're just at Walmart. You're like, you buy a Snickers bar,
Yeah.
$30 bill.
Gotta
Can
hate
you
when that
split
happens.
this, mate?
Yeah.
Can you split this?
They gotta call a manager over and they just give you that dirty look. Like,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
999,000. Anyways, and he puts down the $1 million bill.
okay, yeah.
And the talent lady, she just looks at it and she's like, well, this looks fake. And she calls the police,
Ooh.
right?
Ooh.
Because if, I don't know if you know this or not, $1 million bills don't actually exist.
For some people.
Yeah, well, not for anyone.
Yeah.
And
Like-
the police caught the guys like, this is fake money. How could you do this? And he was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But as he's saying that,
Yeah.
he has like deep pockets.
Yeah.
And he's shaking, and the police can hear like paper bags rustling in his pocket.
Paper bags?
Yeah, like plastic bags.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, "Oh, mate, what's in your pocket?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing."
Yeah.
And police officers check. Turns out he had like $250,000 worth of like drugs in his pockets,
Ooh.
like
Oh,
cocaine, meth,
Oh, that's a
all
lot.
that.
$250,000 worth?
Yeah. And they arrested him, and that's it. And he was a bit of a peanut because he kept all that in his pockets.
As he went into a bank.
Yep.
That's a lot of drugs to have. $250,000?
Okay, like I say $250,000 because they said a lot. Okay, and they said it's a couple 100,000. So I'm saying it could be between 100,000 and 250,000. Okay.
Like that,
So-
those
think
must
it's
be some
unbalancing.
deep ass pockets, man. He's got like a ton of cocaine in his pocket, literally.
His pockets are like dragging along the ground as he walks in.
Was it was it like, you know, like a racist cop who's like, oh, he had hundreds of thousands of dollars of drugs on him,
He's,
and everyone's like, oh my god.
he walks in with this $1 million bill, and his pockets are dragging along the ground.
And people just thought like he just like was one of those adults who have to wear diapers, and he just like crapped himself, so they didn't want to say anything.
Anyways, yeah, that's story number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Story number 3.
Oh.
Okay, this is titled Safari Man, Where is My Baby?
Ooh.
So what happened is this is a story from South Africa, which very hot place. Lots
Very
of
hot.
safari parks, and basically this dad and his young kid and his family, well, his family and his young kid did like a safari tour through
Yeah.
a safari park.
Yeah.
And what happened is he had like do you know those things that you open up the top of your car, the ones that they don't have anymore, but they used to have?
Oh, like a convertible?
No, but it's just like the little slot. So you can like wave your hands out or whatever. Like they used to have it. It's called like a sun.
Oh, sunroof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunroof. So they had that thing, and basically what happened is mom and the other kids, they stayed at the hotel,
Yeah.
and then the dad went to the safari park with this little kid who was in the back seat in a baby seat.
Yeah.
And he basically went through the monkey enclosure.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, let's get out of here. And he like straps his son in
Yeah.
the back seat, and he drives out, and he's looking back, and he just sees like just like a kid holding up like the iPad or whatever that he was playing with,
Yeah.
because the kid had an iPad.
Yeah.
And
As most kids do.
yeah,
not.
but he just keeps driving, and then he gets out of the park, and they close the gate behind him, and they sort of check his car because, like, it's common that people steal stuff,
Yeah.
like animals.
Yeah.
So like they open up the car, the back seat, and instead of the kid being there, there's just a monkey.
Oh my god.
Like instead of his son, it was
Wow.
just a monkey holding an iPad. And so yeah, they immediately searched the entire safari park, and they found the kid, like obviously not eaten, like he was fine, but the dad Like the dad didn't.
The monkeys ate him.
The dad didn't understand why he didn't notice that it was the monkey when he looked back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He was wondering why the kid, like how the kid got out. Like amazing, right?
Like, do you think the monkeys like swung in through the like the sunroof and like?
Yeah, that's what they think how it came in, like through the sunroof. And he was obviously looking the other way.
Oh my god.
And yeah.
What do
So,
you-
do you got any questions about that one?
So was he strapped the baby in though, right? Like, or the kid, I guess.
Yeah, like a seatbelt.
It wasn't like the 5 thing, like the 5
No,
point
no, no. It
strap.
was like a normal seatbelt.
Okay, okay,
I
that's
assume because like, how would you get off a 5-prong one? How would a monkey take that off?
yeah. That's what I was wondering.
Like
'Cause
he thinks that the kid took it off, and then
the kid was
so
probably like, "Hey,
it's going on.
monkeys," and then like
Yeah,
they're like surprised and like kidnapped him.
exactly.
So they found him. Was he with the family of monkeys, or was he just kind of like chilling? Like,
Well, he's strolling around, but there was monkeys around him. So the dad was like, "Thanks for taking care of my son."
but
I
they
see.
also kidnapped him. So
Yeah, douchey. Well, it's his fault. He didn't check.
screw monkeys.
It's the
Screw
dad's
monkeys.
fault.
Nobody likes monkeys.
Okay, well, moving on to story number 4.
Hey, story. Oh my god, you're making this hard because there's only one fake one. Although I think
I
I
know.
I think I may have an idea.
Okay, talking about proposals. I don't know if you think about that a lot,
No.
but there's a recent proposal here.
Nope.
There was a recent proposal here in England, I
Oh,
believe.
here in England.
No, sorry. Yeah, this is England, but it's a Russian guy,
Okay.
if that makes sense. So
Oh.
a Russian guy living in England, he flies back to Russia
Yeah.
because he wants to propose to his beautiful girlfriend,
Yeah.
and he wants to do it in a special way.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is this guy, he was sort of like a sports player.
An
And
athlete?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got injured, and he basically got a large like wound to his stomach
Mm-hmm.
by obviously getting kicked in or something.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, genius. This is my opportunity to propose.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend was a nurse, so she would like change his wound pads, like the
Yeah.
sticker that you put up, the sticker, the bandage,
There's a big Hello Kitty sticker.
the bandage that you put
Thank
over
you.
it. She would change it.
Yeah. The gods.
So what this guy did is like, I want to make it
Oh
special.
no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
can tell where this
I
is
don't
going.
like where this is going.
So he flies to
Oh!
Russia because this couldn't have been done in England. And he goes,
It's so
he goes,
reasonable
"Oi,
there.
oi, Russian doctor, can you put this ring inside my
Ugh.
stomach?"
Ugh. Ugh.
And the Russian doctor's like, "Yeah, no problem. Easy peasy. I will put it in."
Boy, no
And,
PhD.
Basically, he flies back to England, and he's like, he gets home, like his girlfriend gets home from work, from the hospital,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Oi, Katie," I'll just make up the name now,
Yeah.
because it doesn't actually say in the article what her name was.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Could you, fix up my bandage?"
Yeah.
Wink. So she fixes it up. She's like changing it. She like opens it up. There's a lot of blood. She like cleans it. He's like, "Oh, what's this?"
Oh, that must have hurt.
She's kind of confused. She's like, "What? Nothing. It's just a wound." And he goes, "Open it up."
Ew. Ugh.
And she like opens it up a little, and he pulls out the ring
Yeah.
out of the lining of the stomach. And he goes, "Will you marry me?" And she says yes.
Oh my god. You gotta like. Oh no. I feel like she might live to regret that.
What do you think of that?
That's like I can. I don't know now.
Do you have questions about that?
Yeah.
Like what?
like how is he not dead? Like how did he have to be reopened just so he could do this?
No, like it's not in the stomach. I said stomach lining. So it's like the lining bit on the outside. So you just open it up and you get it out. Instead of going all the way to the stomach, because that would kill you.
Just like stuffs it in like his freaking liver.
So any questions?
Oh, yes, but it'd take too long to ask them all. So,
This is a fun game. I'll take one question. Give me one question.
um, so he had the wound when he flew back, right?
Yep.
Like, how is he allowed to fly back if it was that bad? I didn't think you're allowed to fly when you're like even just with a flesh
You're
wound.
still allowed to fly. It was just a cut in his stomach. Like it's not that big. It was enough to retrieve a ring. Like you can, like on the picture, you can tell that you can.
Ew,
Get, like,
there's a
3
picture.
fingers. You can get 3
Gross.
fingers in there. Yeah, because he videotaped it.
We'll link that video down below. No, just kidding. We won't. No, I don't want to
Okay,
ask.
let's move on to the last story.
Whoa, there's 5 stories. Jeez. Even though you haven't stumbled on any other story other than the first one. So yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, here comes number 5. The final question. Play along, guys. Is this true or fake? Anyways, this was recently. This is to do with fires, and that's something me and you are very familiar
Yes,
with.
we're here in Vancouver, so
Yeah,
you know,
well,
BC was on fire before Oregon, so
yeah,
we didn't get any mainstream media.
yeah,
Stupid Hollywood.
we got kicked around. You know,
Yeah.
we know what it's like.
Sorry, Oregon. I'm not
Getting evacuated and stuff.
just a little bit.
And yeah, pretty big fires. Anyways, so this comes out of Montana, which is like a northern state, I believe, in America. And this was recently. And basically, what happened is that a hawk is just flying around, just chilling, you know, just like, man,
Yeah.
just flying around, like, just looking for food, mate. And he's just looking around, and he sees a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake's just chilling on the ground, like, oi, hawk, oi, I dare you, mate. And the hawk like does a few circles, like stares at him, and attacks the snake. Like just swoops down on the snake.
Ooh.
Now this caused a 40-acre fire. The collision of the hawk swooping down on the snake. The snake was apparently, like according to the fire department, the snake was positioned on an electrical cord that was carrying like electricity along, and the hawk swooped in and like smashed the snake, and the snake flipped onto the cord apparently. Yeah. And it sparked a fire, which grew to 40 acres, and that's fairly big. If like you probably know 40 acres, that's pretty big. Yeah. And yeah, it was just burning, and they had to put it out, and they found the hawk and the snake just chilling at the epicenter of the fire.
So they were both dead?
About that?
They're both dead?
They didn't survive.
How did the hawk die?
The hawk swooped in, got stuck on the snake, and the snake bounced onto the electrical cord and sparked a fire. What is there not to believe about that?
Okay. Well,
yeah. Those are my 5 stories. Okay, do you have a question about the last one, by the way?
I asked my question. How did the hawk die?
Okay. Yep. Well, the picture just shows like the dead snake and the hawk sort of like roasted next to it.
So picture 5. I mean, story 5 is the hawk and the snake. Story 4.
So yeah, number 1 was the dead body. Over the $9 $9 debt. Number 2 was the $1 million bill.
Yeah. Number 3.
Number 3 was the safari man.
All right.
Where's my baby?
Yeah.
It's on the monkey enclosure.
Yeah.
Number 4 was the ring proposal.
Yeah.
With the stomach, beautiful proposal.
Yes.
That's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
When I'm at that stage. And the last story was the hawk swooping in on a snake and starting a 40-acre fire in Montana.
Oh, see,
So
that
sad.
last one throws it in. I can believe the middle three.
The middle three?
The middle
How about
three.
this? I'll give you 2 tries. That's all you get though.
Okay. It's a fake
Which
story.
which one is fake?
A.
The dead body?
Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
That
That's
is
the one.
completely true. I was in Ghana.
Then it's got to be 5. Or A, B, C, D, E.
What, the snake and the
Yeah.
hawk? That is also completely true.
Oh my god. Which one was it?
The fake one was the
ring?
safari man.
Oh, okay. And that's the one that you made up, right?
Yeah, that's the one that I made up.
Okay, that was dumb. I should have figured that out. Like, how could like I was thinking about it. And I was just like, oh my god, that's ridiculous.
To be honest, like all the stories are kind of unbelievable to some degree.
Yeah.
And I thought the one that I made up was the most reasonable.
Even though looking back on it now, it's kind of the most ridiculous. Like,
Is
that
it?
the guy's just like, oh, yep, look back, yep, that's totally my kid. He's a little bit more furry than usual, but
You just see the monkey out of the iPad.
that's what I was thinking. It's like, how did he not see like the fingers, like the kid holding the iPad? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's well, that's the end of my segment.
Yeah.
I do have a lot more stories, so this is something we could do in the future. So
Yes.
um,
So hopefully you guys
leave
played
some
along.
comments on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Let us know which one
If
you guys
if you
guessed.
get this right, I feel like you cheated.
Yeah.
There's no way you get this one.
Yeah. 'Cause I thought it was A because you were stumbling, and then I thought it was E because.
I just couldn't read the title. I was just retarded. Like I just couldn't read it for some reason.
Okay, but all right, ladies and gentlemen, Dexter's first segment. I think it was pretty successful. I liked it.
That's Kate.
Yeah,
Good job, Kate.
this is just me clapping.
Thanks,
guys.
Kate. Thanks, Kate.
No one's here with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate's mouth is a bit full right now. But I guess we'll move on to my segment now.
Yeah, great. Scary stories with Pat.
Scary stories. By the way, I think I'm gonna have some good ones when we come near October,
Yes, go for it.
Halloween. But anyway, so let's start this off. The podcast is already going to be longer than we thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah. We're still within the limits, but go for it.
Okay, right. You've been timing it, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I've been just going off of by how long we've been Skyping. I guess we've been Skyping for a while. Okay.
Like we're a couple minutes from our goal, but like we can go a little bit over.
Yeah. It'll be shorter than the last one. So,
Yeah.
anyways, okay. Starting these 3 scary stories off. 2 of them are pretty short. One of them's kind of long. I'm gonna get the long one out of the way.
Okay, is it the same setup? One's your friend.
Yeah, one's my friend's, one is mine, and one I've read online.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So and by the way, everyone, I am changing things around, so it's as if they happened all to me. So I'm changing a lot of locations and a lot of names and stuff.
That
So
threw me off last.
yeah. So I know you're like, obviously but yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah. Anyways, so the first one is kind of long. This one takes a bit of explaining. Is Dexter? I showed you where I lived up north, right?
Yep.
On Google Maps, and it was in Hazleton, way up north. There's a place called Old Town, Newtown, and about 2 kilometers from Old Town, there's a bridge that connects Newtown to this area. And they call it the Hegwilget Bridge. And beside the Hegwilget Bridge is Hegwilget, yeah.
Oh,
And
wow. So
yeah,
creative.
it's this little area, and there's a bunch of houses and like a little store there. Or it used to be. It's pretty much abandoned now. But basically, where I showed you where I used to live, Dexter, there was more work closer to Newtown for my mom, so we decided to move across the bridge and move to Hegwilget. And when I lived there, there was already kind of like the groups of kids who hung out and like played outside because there's kind of like this big open field in the front.
But
for
these
kids.
are tiny cities. Why couldn't you just walk over the bridge?
It's a really long bridge. It's nowhere long as like Vancouver or anything, but like oh,
This huge freaking bridge between these
Beep.
2 tiny towns.
yeah. It just That's.
Okay, go on.
There's a bridge there. I'll show you on Google Maps later.
I'll pretend that's realistic.
Everybody look it up on Hazel. Go to Hazelton, Hegwilget Bridge. You'll see it. It's not a huge bridge, but it's a bridge.
Okay.
Anyways, so there's this kind of big open field area, and like the main road was right there, and you pulled on, and as soon as you like pulled into Hegwilget, you can kind of see the field. You're driving along it to get to the houses, and the road kind of like how roads kind of like split off to three to get to the three different sections or whatever.
Yeah.
And the last section of Hegwilget, which was the closest to the field, was another road that led down. And how that road worked is it kind of went down and like it's hard to explain it. Like you go down a little bit, then you have to take a sharp left turn, and it goes down lower, and then you take a sharp right turn. Kind of like that, kind of like a zigzagging road.
Yeah, I know Ziggy.
Yeah, yeah. I spoke to him today.
Shout out Zigzag.
Zigzag.
Go on.
Get you on here. Anyways, so like there was this rumor going around about like when I first moved in, like I met a couple of the kids, and they were telling me it's this thing about the Hegwilget ghost, which I didn't believe because I was like, oh yeah, I'm the new kid. These kids are gonna try and scare me, like, oh, the Hegwilget ghost, and they always told me don't go outside at night because it'll get you. But the thing is animals did go missing in Hegwilget, but it was really close to a forest, so I kind of assumed it was like wildlife.
Yeah.
And a lot of the adults believed that it was like some crazy person who was used to live down by the river because he was homeless. And there's lots of fish that came to that river, so people would go down there to fish a lot. And if you actually go by the bridge, there's an actual trail that leads down that you can walk down. But this trail, the one that I'm talking about that's in Hegwilget, was meant for you to go down in a vehicle. Yeah. But like nobody ever used it because it was such a sketchy road. Like
Okay.
And like the lower you went on it, the darker it got because the trees kind of made like a canopy over.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
you had the bright idea of just walking down.
No. Okay, so they told me about all these stories. They told me about animals go missing, the Hegwilget ghost eats them and stuff like that. So I was like, whatever, I don't believe you guys.
Yeah.
And anyways, like I made friends with like 3 other kids there, and we were kind of out in the front like playing tag or whatever, and then we noticed there's a bunch of people standing over where that road is. A bunch of kids, I should say. And one of my friends was like, "Oh, well, let's go see what they're doing." So we're like, "All right, whatever. This is getting boring, anyways." So we went over there, and there was an older guy there who was probably about 20, or at least like almost. He was a young adult, and he was looking down there. We're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, 2 dogs just ran down there, and like it sounded like something like hit them or something, or is like killing them." So meow. What? Dude, your sound effects are so bad. Meow.
He turned into cat shit.
The Hegwilget ghost. No, but anyway, so the guy was kind of a jerk, and he was like saying like, "Oh, who cares? They're just dumb dogs, dumb animals, anyways." Like, and he. Yeah. he kind of looked at like all of us. There's probably about like 7 or 8 of us like who are younger kids, and he was like the oldest one. And he's like, "Oh, I'll give you guys like $20 if you go down to the river, grab one of the rocks, and bring it back up to me."
What a chicken, dude!
He's like, "I'll give you guys $20, like one of you guys." And we're like, "Whatever, like you have $20." And he opened up his wallet and he had like a bunch of $20 bills, and well, not a bunch, but like he knew all of us wouldn't do it. So I was like, "Oh, I'll do it." And then like my friends, the ones that I made friends with, were the ones who told me about like the Hegwilget ghost. And they're like, "Oh, don't do it. Like, something's going to get you. Something got those dogs." And I was like, dude, like, it was probably, like, their owner or something. Like, someone going down there to go fishing, and, like, their owner probably, like, got mad at them or something.
Killed the 2 dogs.
Bad dogs. Stabs them in the head.
Realistic, yeah.
But anyways. Oh, you changed it. Good.
Yeah, I improved it.
Anyways, so I was like, I'll go down there. And, like, I was gonna grab the $20 bill. He's like, "No, I'm not giving it to you until you get back. Like, I'm not stupid." Yeah. So I told my friends, I was like, "Come with me. Like, we'll all go down there." I was like, "Trust me, there's no such thing as a Hegwilget ghost." And they're like, "Oh, animals just go missing out of nowhere then?" Like, like that just happens? I was like, I don't know. Like maybe they're going down to the river and like a bear eats them or something. And
Jeez. Okay.
yeah, so there was four of us going down, my three friends, and then two other kids who wanted to come with us. So there was six of us all together, and the other two didn't want to do it because they were too scared.
Yeah.
So we went down. We started going down like the little road turn things, and like the lower and lower we got, more and more kids decided not to go. To the point where there was like to the point where there was like three of us, me and two of my friends, and my other friend went back out because he was like, oh, it's dinner time. My mom's gonna get mad if I'm not back by dinner. So he left.
This road, dude?
It's long. It's long. Like it's a long way down to the river.
Okay.
But anyways, so we were going down there, and then we saw like the, I don't know why I laughed. It's not funny. We saw like the scuffle. I don't know how to say it. Like you know when it looks like someone's been like fighting in the road, like it's because it's turned to like a dirt road to this point. Like when someone's fighting, like it doesn't look like just normal footsteps. It looks like, you know, like someone's been kicking the dirt around or something. But like,
because that's what people do when they fight.
well, like they're not like calmly, orderly.
There's
like
no way you can tell if somebody has been fighting. Like
yeah, it was a dirt road.
It's like a face imprint on the ground.
It was a dirt road. It was a dirt road.
Okay.
So it didn't look like it looked like it might have been where the dogs were or something. And like at this point, I only had one more friend, because when my one friend saw that, he was like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "I'm not. I'm going back up." He's like, "My life isn't worth like $20." And you guys got to remember, back in the day when I was a kid, $20 was a lot of money. And I'll ignore that for now. But anyways,
was like 200 rand.
right. But anyways, so that was just me and my one friend, and he's like really not wanting to be there. But I told him, I was like, dude, if you leave me down here and I do die, that's on you. And he was like, what? I was like, if I die and you're the one who left me, I was like, I will officially blame you. And if ghosts are real, I'm gonna come back and haunt you. He's like, all right. So he stayed with me, and so we went down, and like we started seeing really, really like old dead animals, but like it wasn't like the cats and dogs that were missing. It was like birds and stuff, like
dinosaurs.
Yeah, we found like mammoths and stuff down there. No, but yeah, we started finding like dead animals that looked like they've been dead for a long time. And at this point, my friend's like, I don't care, go ahead, blame me for your death. And I was like, so yeah, he started to walk back, and then he stopped. And I was like, are you literally gonna leave me? And he's like, come to me right now. And I was like, what? And he's like, just walk to me really slow. And then I was like, why? I thought he was just trying to scare me to get me to go with him. And he's like, look at the corner, because we're at one of the corners to turn and start going down the road again.
Yeah.
And we looked over there, and one of the dogs were just like looking out at me.
Is his head speaking out?
Like... Yeah, he was looking at me, and he was just, I don't know, looking at me, and I was like, oh, look, it's one of the dogs. So I started like going like, come here, like trying to call him towards me. And
I was like, mate, turn around and run.
Yeah, he turned into a skinwalker. No, but I was like trying to call him towards me, like I was like, come here, and yeah, his head kind of dropped, and like not just his head, like he looked like he kind of like laid down, but he fell down, and it was like someone slowly started like dragging him back, and I don't know if like he was dead or like. I don't know.
It's like slowly disappearing.
yeah. His head. No, like I don't know. It was really weird looking, but like we just saw him slowly start to go back in, but it was as if he was being dragged or something. Yeah. And we didn't see any other dog, but we started bolting back up the road, and like I don't know. As a kid, I guess it was scarier, but yeah, that was quite the experience. We didn't know what happened to those dogs, or when we got back up, everybody was gone. Even the freaking ass who said he would give us $20 when we got back up, he was gone.
Oh, you never got your 20?
No, because we didn't make it down to the river.
Oh.
But some people, like when we told the story to some people, a lot of them thought that maybe that kid, or the guy, well, kid to me now, but like at the time, like that guy was like involved with like someone trying to kidnap kids or something, and he would pay kids to go down there, and like another guy would grab the kids or something. But there's never any like story
Or
of kids going
they
missing.
thought like a dog's head would be nice bait.
Yeah, maybe they thought I'd be like, no, come back, and I'd run towards them or something. But no,
Yeah.
no, we saw that and we bolted up.
So
But
you
yeah,
never got your $20.
I never got my $20. Yeah,
You
that's
could have just been like, oh yeah, mate, I was down at the river.
yeah. But there's these special kind of rocks down there. Like they were round and smooth. Well, not round, but like they were nice and smooth.
And he told you to grab one?
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning of the story.
Stupid. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. You say I don't listen. Okay. Anyways, that was the longest one. That'll be story A.
Okay. I already know which one that is.
From from your voice, I can tell you're horrified. So
It's oh.
anyways,
Creepy.
story B. This one was one more when I worked at Walmart. Because believe it or not, people, I worked at Walmart before.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I think we said that before. already.
You're like Steve Jobs, where like you had a crap job before and
Yeah.
now you got a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
Said
not saying
wet-
Walmart's crap.
wet
Great
my whistle.
environment. Recommend 100%.
not me. Anyways, so is this one takes a bit of explaining, but not as much. This was on my day off. The reason why I say is because I work at a mill right now. You know, volunteer. And I work late shifts, so I work like 3:30 to midnight.
Mhm.
So I'm used to sleeping in.
Yeah.
But this time, when I worked at Walmart, I had to be up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And this time it was a day off, so I was still trying to get up kind of early, which was around like 9 a.m. for me, because me and my girlfriend had to go do stuff that day.
Yeah.
And I literally had to like like flop out of bed.
Yeah.
And it was like 9 a.m. and my girlfriend's like, "Well, I'm gonna take a shower." And there's a lot of things in the story that don't make sense, but like I didn't really question them because I was so tired, like barely awake.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a shower." So I'm like, "All right." So I was like,
Why'd you wake me?
"Well, she wanted me up because she knows like I can wake up for an hour and then go back to sleep sometimes and sleep for like 3 more hours." So she's like, "You better be up by the time I get out of the shower."
Yeah.
So I was like, so I like rolled out of bed and I was like walking down the stairs. And how it works is like when you leave my room, the bathroom is right to the right and the stairs are right to the left because it's kind of a
Yeah.
small area. And you go down the stairs and the front door is right there. And then when you go, a little more explaining I guess I need to do, but when you go in the front door, there's like a hall that leads to the living room, but in that hall to the right is the kitchen.
Scary, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very scary. This was like winter time too, so it was still really like kind of dark out.
Oh wow.
And so I got up, I went downstairs, and I went into the kitchen, and then I looked in the living room, and our dining room's kind of like connected to the living room, and I saw Danica sitting at the table. My girlfriend. Sorry, Danica. I saw my girlfriend sitting at the table.
You just got dog.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone knows, anyways. I said it already, anyways.
Yeah.
So I saw my girlfriend sitting at the table, so I was confused, but I know her brother lives with us, and he also takes really long showers. So, like, sometimes he'd get up earlier than us just so he could shower, but, like, he takes such long showers that, like, he could wake up, like, half an hour before us jump in the shower, and then still be in the shower when we wake up. So that's what I kind of assumed happened. And she was
Yeah.
just kind of, like, sitting at the table looking down, like, looking really tired, like, her hair was messy, and, like, I don't know.
Crying.
It looked like she had just been crying. Not even joking. It looked like she had just been crying,
Yeah.
but it also looked like she was really tired too. So it could have been that.
Why am I with this guy?
He just doxed me. No.
He's making a scary story.
No, but anyway, so yeah, she's sitting at the table. So I was like, "Oh, is your brother in the shower?" And then she didn't look at me. She didn't look up or anything. She just kept looking like at the table, and I thought she was kind of grumpy because nobody likes to be up early. And then she wanted to shower, and so I assumed her brother was in there. So I was like, "All right." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna make something to eat. Did you want something to eat?" And she was like, didn't say anything again. Like, didn't look up or anything. So I assumed she was like, sometimes she actually does this, where she's really pissed off and just doesn't want to talk or anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. So I just started like cooking some eggs and stuff. And the shower was still going. So I always make her plate first because it's smart. If you're gonna cook food, always make your plate last because otherwise it'll be cold. Cooking tips with Patrick with
Oh,
Gordon.
I thought you were being kind and like giving her the food first.
Well, I always do it. I always do it for her.
If you get warmer for yourself.
So what? Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
What a
She
gentleman.
gets a hot dinner, or a hot breakfast. I get a hot breakfast.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, I kind of like hold her plate out to her, and again, she just sits there looking at the table. So I was like, all right, and then I put the food down on the table, and it's like where I first see her move, and she just kind of like grabs the plate and moves it closer, and
Yeah.
starts eating. So I'm like, okay, so I start cooking mine because we have like small freaking like little burners on our stove, so we can only use one pan at once.
Yeah.
So I make mine, and I go over there, and I sit down at the table, and I start eating too. And then she finishes hers, and then like I'm still eating, and I'm kind of on my phone, like I go on Facebook and stuff. And she grabs her plate and gets up and like slowly walks in the kitchen and puts it down. So it's like, what are we gonna do today? And like, there's like no response. It sounds like she just put the plate down and just stood there.
Yeah.
And then I finally hear the shower stop, and like again, she ignored me, so it's kind of like whatever. And so I'm pretty much just finishing up, and then like
Sorry, is this normal that you just talk to her for like half an hour and she just never says anything back?
when she's grumpy, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Sure.
You should know, Dex, and that's how girlfriends are.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
sure
know
Kate
all
gets
about
like that every once in a while.
it. Like Kate never talks to me.
Ever.
she only collapses in the morning.
When she's waking you up, she's like.
Yep.
But yeah, when she's mad, she won't talk to me, even if she's not mad at me. If she's just mad at something.
So is that the story?
Yep, the end. No. So she put the plate down, and I was about to finish eating. Then I hear the shower finally stop. So I'm like, oh, you better go jump in the shower, otherwise, your brother's gonna find another reason to be in there.
Yeah.
And again, I don't hear her move, and then I hear the door open, and I hear Danica, my girlfriend, shout down the stairs, like she's like, that smells good, like make me some too. So I'm like I do, that fight or flight instinct they say you have when you're really scared. I don't have either. Like I'm that dumb person in horror movies that just freezes.
Yeah.
That's how I was. I was sitting there, and I froze because I heard her from upstairs yell down to me.
Did you were you in eye contact with the one downstairs?
Yeah, like I saw that it was
So
her.
you're looking at her right now, and you hear what's upstairs.
Oh no! I wasn't looking at her. She like she was in the kitchen, which is kind of like there's a little doorway that leads to the kitchen to the dining
Where were
room.
you?
I was at the table, literally like 3 feet from where she was, but she was behind me.
And
So
you couldn't just like turn around.
I was freaked out, dude. Can you imagine that happening to you? No, you can't. It was.
Yes, I can.
It's something.
Just be like, wait a second, I'll like turn around and check.
I
if it's
was
her.
freaked out. I was tired. I was still trying to process everything, and eventually I did get up and I turned around, and I look in the kitchen. There's nobody there, but the empty plate is still there. Like the plate that I made for
Yeah.
whoever, I don't know.
Well, it was probably the guy that you thought was shouting. I don't know if I can say his name. but
That doesn't matter. But
Dave.
no, it wasn't because
It was probably him.
no, it wasn't because no.
Like,
They're not identical twins. I knew who I was looking at. Like I knew
but
it was
I
her.
know the guy. I know he looks down all the time. He probably probably just eating his egg.
No, and her brother, he always like listens to music when he's home, so like he always has his headphones in and his phone out. This wasn't one of those moments. And trust me, he's never
So
up this
where
early.
was he then?
He was still downstairs sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because trust me, I went and checked after. I was like,
Okay, go on with the story. What happens?
so eventually my girlfriend comes downstairs, and I was like, were you just down here? And she kind of looks at me funny, like no. My girlfriend's a fat little 8-year-old boy who's a jerk.
I'm scared. Can you look behind me? I didn't want to turn around.
It's scary, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And anyways, so I'm asking her all these questions like, was Dayton up when you were up? Like, was he showering like before you? And she's like,
Wait,
no.
you still haven't turned around to check?
No, I have. That's what that. Listen to the story, Dex. I said that I went into the kitchen and I saw the plate still there. So
Oh,
the
I thought
plate.
the plate was on the table.
No. She picked the plate up and then she walked in slowly. And I said I heard her put it down, but I didn't
Okay,
hear her
fine.
like walk away. So it sounded like she just put the plate down and just stood there.
Okay.
So I went in there, checked. She wasn't there, but the plate was still there. The plate was still
Empty.
there,
Oh, it didn't have anything
empty,
on it.
empty.
Okay.
So whatever or whoever this was actually ate the food, and I sat down with this person or thing and was eating my food with it. And it just got up and then left and then went into the kitchen. I didn't like our floors are really creaky in the kitchen, so I would have heard whoever this was walk away or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like I was like, "Yo, Danica," I was like, "Were you down here?" And she's like, "No, I was upstairs showering. You heard me. I told you that I was going to be showering."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Was Dayton up before you?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Are you absolutely sure?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why? Why are you asking all this?" And I was like, and I told her what happened. And she's like, "Yeah, bullshit." She's like, "You're probably like really tired." She's like,
Yeah.
"You're probably." I was like, "Look, I made you a plate of food, and like whatever it was, ate it." And she's like, "Oh yeah, if you didn't make me a plate of food, or if you did and you got hungry and you ate it and ate yours," she's like, "just tell me." And I'm like, "No, why would I do that? Why would I make you a plate, make me a plate, and then eat both plates? Like, why would I do that?" And then she's like, "I don't know." But yeah, that was more believable to her than than my story.
And
Yeah.
you look out the window, you just see Rosie's car driving away. She's
Thanks for
"Did it
breakfast."
again." Da-da-da-da-da. No, okay.
Fake
whatever.
dish.
Beep.
Um,
Okay, so that's story number 2. What's story
so
number 3?
so clearly not scary for Dex, but let me know if that's scary. Okay,
Oh, it's scary, dude. You have me shivering.
you can hear it. I don't know how that was shivering, but anyways, story number 3 is probably the shortest story.
Nice.
Shut up. Finally, mate. Hey man, you told 5 stories, so. Or
yeah, but mine
5.
was short, like really short.
Yeah, but yours won't take as much explaining. Like if I'm just like, oh yeah, down the stairs, and like you even asked, like, why didn't I turn behind? Where was she? Like, were you looking at her?
Go.
Okay. So, anyways, the third one is really short. Basically, we're gonna get into a bit of depressing news here, but depressing backstory on me. My parents divorced ages ago, and my dad and I decided to go with my dad, and we moved out back onto the res because at that time my uncle was chief out there, and he was like,
is this true?
"Huh?
Is this true?
The fact that you're questioning is good."
Okay, yeah, go on. This is obviously a lie one.
Anyways, so we the lie one. What do you mean the lie one? There's no lie one. These all happen. Okay?
The online one I meant. just go.
So, anyways, he was like, "Yo, I can get a place for you guys." So we went to stay with my grandma out Elkli, which is our res, and so we went and stayed with our grandma out there, and we were waiting for him to let us know when we got a place, which we did, which was a seniors village type place. They called it the elders complex. So it's like where a bunch of like older people go to live, and it sounds kind of messed up, but it's kind of like where they go to die, because they kind of have nurses come in and look after them and stuff.
Yeah.
And it sounds really grim and morbid, but like one of them died, and then my uncle's like, "Yo, there's a place for you to live."
Yo.
Yeah. So anyways, we went and lived there, which was kind of creepy because it sounds I don't know, to me like old people kind of have a distinctive smell of like medicine and like oldness. So anyways,
Okay.
it smelled like that, and when we moved in there, like a lot of this guy's stuff was still there. Like his plates, his forks, like everything, his curtains.
Oh,
But
his
he
stockings. his dentures.
Yeah, his dentures,
Yeah, I get it.
his body. No. So
His body, and then the guys from the cemetery quickly run over. Like, oh, you didn't pay your fees, man.
But no, anyway, so we moved in there and everything was fine. It was kind of creepy that all his stuff was there. But anyways, there's kind of like a main bedroom, which is where he stayed, and then another bedroom beside the kitchen, which was kind of like where whoever was going to look after him stayed if a nurse wasn't going to look after him.
Yeah.
But like all the stuff was still set up because when they're that old, like they need constant things to show, like when they're trying to like get up and move, and like even when you open the door, like a bell went off in the house.
Yeah.
And there's like buttons and everything there. Like if he needed help to get out of bed, even in the bathroom, there was a button that would ring like the bell.
Yeah. Oh, nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's trying to shove a pillow down your throat. um, oh god, that's an inside joke. Sorry. Anyway, so like, where I'm in the guest room, I guess, and my dad was kind of going out and talking with a lot of his family out on the res because it was his family, kind of like where they're from, and it was at night, and I was just like at home playing Halo 2 in my room, and like I kept hearing the bell go off, and like I was like, yeah, like I was assuming it was my dad, so I'd kind of like open the door, and like I could see the door was still locked and the chain was still on, so he didn't come home.
Yeah.
And that right away frightened me because I was like, so, and these buttons were still connected, and we didn't have any animals that could have like didn't do it because we didn't have any animals at all.
Yeah.
So the only other way that the bell could have gone off is if someone pressed it in the bathroom or someone pressed it in his room.
Okay.
So I was getting freaked out, and so I kind of shut my door. And you know,
You don't actually check the room.
no, screw that, dude. So yeah.
I always like if I hear like a strange sound in my house, and I always like run in, like with like a knife or a gun.
Just
Like, I
run in
have
with
to
your
check
Negev.
Why is anyone here?
Just spraying in a straight line.
You just pre-fire as you check the room.
Just pull out your Zeus.
But like, how can you leave without having like checked? Because like that would kill me, not knowing if
I
there
was
someone.
okay. This was probably like almost one of my. You gotta understand the situation. My parents had just split up. I'm very not like how normal people should be thinking.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm very distraught, and at this point I'm like, you know, I don't no, not dealing with it.
Okay.
So anyways,
I'll
I'm
just die
sitting.
in my room.
Yeah, I'll die playing Halo 2, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Halo 2, and my dad used to do this thing because like it was a complex, so kind of like apartments almost.
Yeah.
So there's the sidewalk, like because it was all gated in, and the sidewalk would go by to like get to our place, like right by my window. And what my dad would do to tell me that he was pretty much like on his way home, and I got to go undo the chain, is he would knock on my window and then keep walking by. So I heard that knock, and you know I looked out there and I just saw someone like kind of walking by. So it's like, oh, my dad's home. So I went and took the chain off,
Yeah.
and I didn't unlock it because like I know he has a key and he'll do that. So I went and sat in my room again. Left my door open this time because I wanted to see him come in, and I could see the door from my room.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there playing again. Then I hear the bell go off, and I'm waiting for the door to open. And it doesn't, and I'm like, "What?" And then I hear like the knob like turning. Well, it's not like a kind of knob. It sounds like a normal knob, like someone's like really like trying to open it.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, you know, I don't know. I guess my dad forgot his key or something. So I went and unlocked it, opened it, and there was nobody there. And later on, we found out through one of the nurses that this old guy did not want to be in this place, and like he had really like a lot of mental problems. So like
Yeah.
he couldn't even unlock the door. But what he would do is he'd go to the door, and he'd like do that with the knob, and he'd try to like open the door to get out because he didn't want to be in there because he knew it was kind of a place he'd go to die, and anybody wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So they told us like, oh yeah, that's what he used to do, and I was like, shut up, no it isn't. And they're like, yeah. And I told my dad about this, and you know, he's kind of like a spiritual person, so he had sage and stuff. If anyone knows what that is, cool. If not,
no
whatever.
idea what that is.
Yeah, you wouldn't. So I don't mean that in an insulting way. Like you
Little insults.
you wouldn't know what it is unless you were like, unless you knew.
You're like spiritual now.
No, that's not what I meant.
I see dead old people.
I didn't see anybody, but that's what I heard. And yeah.
Scary. Ooh.
So yeah, that's the end of my story. We eventually moved out of there because we didn't want to live where an old guy had just died like a few weeks prior.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you gotta admit that would be creepy living in a place that somebody just died in.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
Okay.
I still wouldn't care much, but yeah.
But yeah, it was just weird. They
Like,
pretty
as long
much
as you've got like a weapon at home, it should be fine.
like they chalked it up to like for the wiring and stuff for the buttons, but like they said unlikely because they always check that stuff just in case. Because
Sorry, we wired the doorknob wrong. It just randomly turns.
we forgot our vibrator on the door. Don't know what that is.
okay.
Kids go ask your parents. Your mom in particular.
So that's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story.
Okay, I know which one is whose.
Okay,
Very
A
easy.
was the Hegel get ghost,
Yeah.
allegedly.
The
B
dog.
was the fake girlfriend. Or C was the old man ghost.
Okay, so I'm gonna do them in order. So
Mm-hmm.
A was definitely your friends.
Mm-hmm.
B was most definitely the fake online one.
Mm-hmm.
And C is yours.
Damn, dude, you got it first try.
Yes.
Wow. See, I was gonna tell it in the same order as last time, just to kind of.
No. I have a method now for like picking out yours.
Do I have a tell?
Yes, you do.
What is it?
Well, if I tell you, you'll fix it.
Yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be as challenging as possible.
Oh yeah, for me, the tell is that, like the one that's yours is the one where you don't actually see anything. You sort of just like you feel it,
Yeah.
and your friends is always like the bullshit one. When nobody believes. And then the fake one is obviously the impossible one. Like your girlfriend just making eggs and you not turning around. That's such bull.
I was making the eggs. I guess
Yeah,
in
well,
the
you're
story,
making
the
eggs,
person.
you're like, oh, I'm too frightened to turn around. Because
Yeah.
logically, wouldn't you be like, oh, she probably just went upstairs and she was like calling down to me?
Yeah, but the thing is, even like actually, that is the actual layout of my house. If anyone wants to come kill me in my sleep, the layout of my house, it's like the stairs are creaky, the floor is creaky, and you have to open a baby gate to go up the stairs, which is really old.
Ooh.
It makes a creaking noise, and that would have been up by that
Should've
point.
added that. Yeah, you should have added that.
Yeah, but see, like the actual story online is more. I'm not good at like telling the online one because I got to change so much stuff because I can't be like, oh, Dexter, when I was in my mansion and I heard my Lambo start up, like.
Yeah.
So like I gotta like try to rearrange the story, and I think of these when I'm at work, like try to.
Oh wait, you don't have a Lambo yet?
Well, mine's in the shop right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Ferrari's on the way. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
amazing
I'm
that you have
using
a
the
two-story
Bugatti right
house
now.
in Vancouver. That's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a townhouse.
Nice. Well,
So
I guess that concludes your segment.
that does.
We
So-
we did go a little bit over.
Are we like closer to like how long the first one was?
We are exactly in between what we wanted and the last one.
Well, let's end it right now then, guys.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank you all so much for listening.
Give us some feedback.
My stories are scary, damn it.
Oh, really scary. I'm gonna sleep tonight, actually.
Yeah. I hope you see one of your roommates, and then you hear them call you
Die.
from the bathroom.
A little bell goes off, bing,
Yeah, and the doorknob starts shaking.
and there's just a floating dog.
Yeah, just his head.
Yeah, it makes sense. Anyways, follow us, sub us, like us, favorite us, tweet us, Tumblr us,
LinkedIn.
share us, LinkedIn us, and Patreon us.
Yes, and we're hopefully gonna have a guest on. If you guys noticed, we didn't have a guest this time. Otherwise, we would have been going way over.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I guess Deborah was
But
kind of a
it's
guest.
probably gonna be. It's probably gonna be Deborah.
Hopefully,
next
yes.
week, hopefully.
Like we said, she's like across the world, so like it's early in the morning there right now for her, but for us, it's like really late. So.
Indeed.
So we are busy through the week, working behind the scenes on the channel.
So busy.
But yeah, Tanky Online, you guys go check that out. That's our first gameplay video.
Yeah, don't check it out. Jeez, that is burp number 3 for the podcast. If you're listening in, we'll do a little competition. If you can timestamp all of Patrick's burps, then we'll give you a prize. Special prize.
So thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much for liking and subbing. Go to our Patreon, guys. You guys can get shout outs or maybe even be on the show. Because we have so many people dying, but dying to be on the show, that is. Not just dying. So, thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we're still working on trying to get these shorter.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Dex?
See ya.